Hello and welcome to Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. So today on Chef Carter's Cooking Corner, we're making Philly cheesesteak. So as you can see here, I got peppers and onions cooking in a hot iron skillet with a little bit of oil in there. So just cook them till everything is tender. Alright, so we got that on lockdown. So next, we're going to do the cheese sauce. Alright, so next we're going to get the cheese sauce started. So that's started by melting about a tablespoon of butter. You hear it outside. We got a thunderstorm going on outside. Alright, probably would help if I turn the heat on. So I put the heat on low. Alright. Alright, we're melting the butter and we're melting and we're melting. So we're also going to take a tablespoon of flour, a quarter of a teaspoon of seasoning salt, and about a half a teaspoon of dry mustard powder. Alright, and that's going to season our cheese sauce. We might need to add a little more salt, but I like to do that after I add the cheese because sometimes, depending on your cheese, it could be a little salty. But I'm going to be adding sharp cheddar cheese in here. And so I might mix it up a little bit. We'll see. Alright. So now, alright, so it's about a tablespoon of flour. Alright. So we're going to mix that up with the butter. We're going to cook it just for a little bit. Alright, and I'm going to turn the heat up to medium. Because this burner is a little low. So it's probably equal to like medium low. Right. We want to cook this flour just a little bit so we don't have the flour taste, because it's like making the cheese sauce for macaroni, but it's not going to have that time in the oven. So we got to make sure to cook the raw taste of the flour out while it's on top of the stove. Alright, so we don't want it to burn though. Alright, so now I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of milk. Alright. So some people add it a little bit at a time, some people add it all at once. As long as you get all the lumps out, that's what matters the most. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Get all those lumps out. Alright. So I have this silicone spatula. It is raining to beat the band outside. Alright. And once we make this sauce, we will finish up with the meat, cook the meat, so the meat will be hot. The sauce will stay a little warm. Alright, but the meat won't take long because it's thin. We're using steakums, which a lot of people are like, steakums, ew. Alright, so, you know, I think, speaking of steakums, I'm going to add just a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning to this. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Alright, and we'll add it to the steak as well. Just that way the cheese sauce is going to would complement the steak, the meat better. So I'll have similar seasoning. Alright. So, here we go. Oh, still making noise as I mix it. Alright. So you can see the seasoning floating around in there. Could adjust the lighting. I apologize for that lighting. Is that better? I think that's better. Yeah. You can see it a lot better now. So I moved it up to more medium. Alright, and so we're looking for it to get a little thicker. And so it is starting to get thicker. You can see it's starting to coat the whisk here. It's also, you can see it's kind of sticking to the sides now. That it's like a white sauce now. This would be called a bechamel sauce. It's one of the 5 mother sauces. So don't ask me what the other ones are. I don't remember. I remember bechamel. There's a tomato one. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it, while I edit this, I'll put it there. Alright, y'all. So here's how you pronounce these, and these are the 5 mother sauces. You have bechamel, which is what I'm making now. You have hollandaise, which is made with butter and egg yolks. Oh, it's so good. You have velouté, which is basically a white gravy. And then you have espagnole, which is a brown gravy. And then you have the classic tomato sauce. So, oh, with roux. So it's kind of, it's mixed with a little flour too. So I'm sure you've had all of these like I've had as well. Yummy, yummy. All right, back to the show. So I let it come to a boil. I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer, just because I want to make sure that flavor of the raw flour is out of it. All right. And then we're going to add probably about a cup of cheddar cheese. I was thinking maybe some mozzarella too, so it has some pull, stringiness. Oh yeah, that's going to be some good sauce. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn this all the way off for now while I get the cheese ready. Okay, so I have the cheese ready. You can see it's still boiling. It only took me like 30 seconds to get the cheese ready. So I'm going to add, that's probably about a half cup of shredded cheddar, sharp cheddar cheese. And then I'm going to add, the closest thing I have to mozzarella is this Italian style cheese. And it has provolone, mozzarella, parmesan, Asiago, fontina. It's supposed to be a flavorful cheese sauce. So I guess 50%. So, ooh, maybe a little more than 50%. But it's all cool. It'll be all good. If it's too thick, you can add a little bit of milk. If it's too thin, it'll get thicker as it sits. But once you add the cheese, you don't want to cook it too much. All right. So look at this. Look at that cheese sauce. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful cheese sauce. Look at that. Alright, so we're going to put that on our sandwich once it's done. If it does get a little cool, just put it on low for a few minutes. But it's not going to sit that long, so it'll still be hot. Alright, be right back. Alright, so I got my skillet here. I got it on medium. Heating it back up. It's not that cold, but I want it up to temperature. So I'm going to be adding steakums. You read that? Steak gums, sliced steaks. So a lot of people, they said they don't like steakums, but steakums is 100% beef. Let me show you. And it says right there, ingredients. Beef. Alright. So basically they just chop it up and push it together. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding it to the pan here. I don't know how many slices I'm going to add. I'll say a couple more, and then I'll put the rest in the refrigerator. I didn't even count that. Did y'all count that? It's okay if they break a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to let that start to simmer. I put the rest of it in the fridge, or you can keep them in the freezer, but I did allow mine to thaw, but I'm going to use it tomorrow too, so it'll be okay as long as you use it within a day or, you know, a couple days after you let it thaw. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn it on high because I wanted to get a nice crust on some of it. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. Alright, so I'm just going to let it cook. I'll be right back. Alright, so it's been a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and get this flipped over, and we're going to add the seasoning. Doesn't that look good? Oh my goodness. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little steak seasoning to the top of that. And just a taste of Lawry's. Alright. So we're going to let that cook a couple minutes to get like that, see that crust, that beautiful crust? We want that to form on this other side, and then we'll be done. Alright, be right back. Alright, while the steak is cooking, I got some hot dog buns and cooking it over low heat so it get nice and brown. We got the cheese sauce staying warm right here. Alright, we're going to flip these over. Hoagies would be better, but I'm using what I got. And you could just use a slice of bread as well. Before it gets all the way cooked on the other side, I'm going to add a small can of mushrooms. Maybe not the whole can. Oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add the whole can. And since they're already soft, they don't really need to cook that long just to heat up. I'm going to add my peppers and onions to the top there as well. gonna let it sit and do its thing. Alright, so my meat's ready, my cheese sauce is ready. I did have to add just a couple tablespoons of milk to make sure it stayed at a good consistency. Alright, but it's nice and toasted on this one. I got the buns ready, so let's go over to the buns. Alright, it is time to put this steak and cheese together. Alright, so if you like horseradish sauce, this would be a good time to use it. You know. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little meat on there. Some of the vegetables on top right there. I didn't get a lot of peppers. Let me get some peppers on there. There you go. I love me some bell peppers. Alright, so we got some peppers on there. Can you see it? There we go, that's better. Alright. So maybe a little bit more vegetables. We get enough mushrooms. Put another mushroom on there. Mushrooms just kind of cooked into the meat. Glad I didn't add them until last minute. If they were fresh, I'd cook them with the meat. But since they were canned and they were already soft, I didn't need to do that. Alright, so now I'm going to add my cheese sauce. Look at that cheese sauce. Oh my goodness. So, if you would eat this, tell me in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. If you think you have a better recipe, share it with me. Don't keep it a secret. Alright, look at that cheese sauce. Oh, don't that look good? Yummy, yummy. Alright, well, thank you for tuning in to Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. Make sure to like, subscribe, watch more. Tell your friends about my channel because I need more watch hours. And I'll see you next time. Alright, so I'm going to make another sandwich here for other people. Ooh, this looks so good. I can't wait to try it. Alright, take care, y'all. Bye-bye.